It seems hardly a day goes by that someone isn't struck by a vehicle in a crosswalk in Halifax. In fact, it happened 262 times last year. 4 of the pedestrians died. And yet Halifax is below the national average when it comes to the number of collisions between cars and people, a number the city is fighting to reduce. Here is CTV's Amanda Debison on a two-way street.
This community crosswalk safety flag is the only way cars will stop for pedestrians on Waverley Road. That's according to crosswalk safety advocate Norm Collins. It's one of the ways the city is trying to reduce the number of pedestrians hit by vehicles.
At the end of the day, I think we have to decide as a community, as a city, is this an acceptable level of injury and suffering that's occurring?
In 2012, 208 people were hit by cars in Halifax. 4 of them died. Within 2013, the number dropped to 169, 2 fatalities. And in 2014, that number spiked by 55% to 262. 4 fatalities.
We can certainly do better.
Those statistics prompted the city to create a Crosswalk Safety Advisory Committee in spring 2013, a group aimed at creating a list of recommendations to improve crosswalk safety.
There was a general call from the public, from councillors, from all kinds of people saying, whoa, this is a problem, we need to do something about it.
Janet Barlow was chair of the committee, which initiated the introduction of increased pedestrian countdown timers, improved lighting, zebra lines, and signage upgrades.
The recommendations only started being implemented last May, so it's been less than a year. And all of these recommendations, if they're all implemented fully, I do believe they will work to reduce the numbers, but it's not going to happen overnight.
We believe that the pedestrian safety issue should be addressed via 3 main streams: education, enforcement, and engineering.
Tasso Kucherlakis is the head of traffic management for the city. He says more steps will be taken in 2015.
We're going to start upgrading crosswalk light locations to make sure that the downlighting is much more bright. In addition, adding side-mounted flashing lights to those locations. We're going to continue with the painting of the zebra markings, repainting them again this year.
Not only did the reported number of collisions between vehicles and pedestrians increase in 2014, so did our public knowledge of the events. In December 2013, Halifax Police started something new. They issued a media release every single time a pedestrian was struck by a vehicle.
Halifax Regional Police didn't really have a protocol for doing media releases with respect to vehicle pedestrian collisions. So therefore, anytime there was an incident involving a vehicle and pedestrian, we would do a release.
But 9 months later, police decided to send monthly updates and only send a single release if the pedestrian is sent to hospital. To reduce the number of victims, police say they've ramped up enforcement.
Our traffic unit is, focusing very much on trying to reduce the amount of collisions. Our basic patrol members are very vigilant in trying to enforce, whether it be people going through red lights or not yielding to a pedestrian.
There are crosswalk incidents in other maritime cities, but most detachments don't alert the media when it happens. If all maritime cities had the same population in 2014, Halifax still has the highest numbers. Charlottetown comes next at 28 per 100,000, not even half of Halifax's numbers. Moncton comes in third, followed by similar numbers in St. John and Fredericton. Cape Breton County had the fewest number of collisions. But while Halifax has the highest numbers for the Maritimes, it is still below the national average.
Whether it's by the pedestrian or by the driver, it's always a mistake that's made that causes a collision. It's never an accident.
Police in Toronto still battle higher numbers, where on average 5 pedestrians are hit a day.
Pedestrian collisions almost consistently are in around the 21 or 2200 range. We have seen in the past where those numbers have been higher, but going forward they seem to have stopped somewhere around the 2200 collisions per year.
In Halifax, Dr. Hassan Habib is part of Dalhousie University's Transportation Research Group. He says the first problem is roads are built for cars, not pedestrians.
We have a very historical grid system, and we retrofitted to accommodate our vehicles.
But times are changing.
People are walking more and more than previous years, so we are having more conflict points.
Another research shows most collisions are during the evening rush hour, on clear, dry days, and through the winter months. Habib says only 4% of pedestrians are in dark clothing, and only 4% of accidents are attributed directly to texting or talking. But that percentage may not be accurate.
So these unknown 24% could be maybe it's texting, but we couldn't capture that reasoning.
While it can't always be proven, a report from the city highlights distracted driving as a key contributor to collisions.
Text Brian to see if he's picking up the kids.
That's why the city launched this Distractions Kill ad in 2013 to raise awareness and to educate. Heads Up Halifax is the latest to promote sharing the road. Raising awareness may be working. The newest stats for 2015 are showing collisions have decreased by 24%, but the road ahead is still long.
We have to keep going because in my opinion, and I think in the opinion of others, is that no deaths and no injuries are acceptable.
While police increase enforcement and the city raises awareness, crosswalk safety is still a two-way street. Amanda Debison, CTV News, Halifax.